boys and girls? Welcome back to these NACL matches. Hope you guys are doing absolutely awesome. My name is Max, and I'm going to be joined back again with the one and only FlashX of TSM. How you doing?
Doing pretty well. Definitely glad to be back and ready to get into these games.
Yes, it's going to be absolutely awesome. Tonight we do have a BO5 match, a little bit longer than we do usually have on NACL. And it's going to be Team Ludicity, not Lucidity, when we try and not do the mistake, against Team from Mars. So it's going to be interesting to see what's to be coming up. But what do you expect, Flash? Because I think you do have a little bit of insight onto Team from Mars. What do you expect coming out on, also now in update 2.12? So what do you think hero-wise would be focused down?
Yeah, it's obviously a new patch since the last time I was on here. Casting the meta has definitely shifted quite a bit. Last patch, we were seeing a lot of Varia bans. This patch, Koshka is absolutely overwhelming. I expect to see her be the target of many drafts here coming up. But these are all very highly skilled players, very high up in the skill tiers as well. They're all very talented. So really, whatever hero they need to play in the draft is what we're going to see come out of them.
Yeah, as you said, Koshka, very dominant lately with that extra shielding, with that twirly death. And also, like, CP Vox making a huge comeback lately. Gonna see if it comes out, because comboed up with, for example, a Churnwalker, that can be absolutely deadly. Just able to pick up triple, even in 5v5, picking up pentakills so easily. So it's gonna have to see, and we're gonna be hopping into the draft now, and gonna be going into this first game.
It's on Team Ludicity for the A side. It's their ban first. Just because I have not been able to see these teams play just quite yet, it's a little hard to see what they predict and just predict what they want to go for, but we'll figure it out here as we go. But like I said, Koshka, almost 100% will go within this first pick and ban phase. If it's not banned, I definitely expect it to be picked. And like you said, CP Vox coming back strong into the meta. I think a huge factor of that is the fact that 5 versus 5 has been pre-released now. Everyone who has that golden ticket can now play it. So the balance damage is just insane. But it's actually going to be a cruel ban coming out from the side of Ludicity.
Yeah, just cruel. This meta is so effective in the early game phase and also in the late game phase when you start to have those very good item spikes. He's just able to be so aggressive in every phase of the game. Just with his passive, Shadow Empowers Me. He got a little change on it that makes it that you can have that passive up faster. That just enables you to get that extra move speed and burst damage when you start a fight. So often, it's a hero just to take it off the table. It's a very nice choice there. I'm gonna have to see, as you said, Koshka will be first ban, or if not, I do expect also, just like you, Flash, for it to be picked up because it's such a reliable pick. You cannot dismiss it, and it's going to be banned up.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that ban coming out of From Mars. Koshka is super strong. We saw that Ludicity targeted a jungle pick. I think that that's also another reason why From Mars with the Koshka ban as well. You just want to make sure that you're able to hold your own in the jungle. Like you said, Max, man, it's that CP Vox. I guess it technically could still be played as weapon power, but CP Vox storming back into the meta, all of that extra resonance balance damage, very, very effective, and something that From Mars is going to have to be wary of. They don't want to pick too many melee heroes. They want to be able to stay at range, poke around from different sides, especially if Ludicity does go for that CP Vox. And that's something they're going to have to keep in the back of their minds. And they're actually going to answer with a Saw first pick.
Well, that's going to be quite interesting. Going to have the Saw. In the early phase, Vox is going to have quite a lot of problem. If he does go on the weapon phase, if he goes on the CP phase, should be a little bit calm for him. Just able to get that resonance damage onto Saw. It's going to have to see what they want to combine this up, because right now this Vox is a flex pick, can take it weapon or CP. If they do take a lot of melee heroes onto the side of From Mars with the jungler and the support, I would expect it to go CP. If he goes weapon, though, should have a little bit more versatile, like maybe a Baptiste on the side of From Mars. So you can go with the Poison Shift. You have a lot of possibilities, but they're going to be taken right off the bat in the second ban for From Mars, this Black Feather. So they're going to have to see what to want to go now on the second ban for From Mars.
Yeah, it's a great ban coming out of From Mars. Black Feather, a super effective counter pick. It can be played either weapon power or crystal power and be very effective against Saw. You have that weapon power hero dives in with just a little bit of weapon power damage, applies the Atlas onto the Saw, and then you have the Crystal Power Black Feather staying at range, using his on point to just poke Saw down. So I think that's a very smart ban out of the side of From Mars. They're going to want to be able to secure a captain that pairs really well with Saw, whether that's the Arden that gives Saw the barrier, gives him a little bit of extra move speed, locks enemies down in the gauntlet. And actually, Catherine has seen quite the comeback in 5 versus 5. Ludicity going to be banning out that Rona. Bit of an interesting pick right there. I actually think Rona would have done very well into Saw, but From Mars going to first, or as their second pick, they're going to take that Lance to pair with their Saw.
Yeah, so I wasn't expecting a Lance pickup because Lance is one of those heroes that's quite complicated to play into a Vox. It's got that Sonic Zoom available so often. You can just avoid the impales and even then avoid the combo with Decision Wall following up. So I was not expecting that to come up, Flash. What do you think of that one?
That could definitely be just a comfort pick for them. They want to make sure that they're on heroes that they are very comfortable with. That's also a hero, all the CC that comes out of Lance. If Ludicity tries to take a hero that has a huge dive potential, they'll have that Lance to kind of peel for Saw, push them away, stun them up, root them in place. So whenever Saw is trying to chase them down, he can keep up with them.
Yeah, so they do have then this Lance. It's not going to be healing hero, so maybe it would be smart on the side of Ludicity to go for healer hero than the Lyra, or probably I would expect more of Grace to be able to give you that much more sustain in team fights. The thing that will not be available on the side of From Mars on that support role, and it will be then going up with the Arden, so no sustain roams right now, to combo up with this Fox, just going to enable him to get that extra mobility if he does get caught out by this Lance.
Yeah, Arden definitely a great pick to pair with Vox. And Ludicity still has a lot of room to figure out what they want to do here. If they pick a jungler that can be flexed Crystal Power or Weapon Power, which Glaive definitely can be. I think that Glaive traditionally played much more Weapon Power nowadays, especially with how strong Spell Sword has become. It did see a little bit of a nerf in 2.12. It's a little bit more expensive, so he doesn't scale quite as fast. You can't stack them quite as easily, but they're definitely going to be able to use that now. More than likely, it will be that Crystal Power Vox, and because his basic attacks have that Crystal Power ratio in it now, they actually hurt quite a bit. He's not solely reliant upon those bounce damage. As soon as he gets that alternating current, a CP Vox just hitting you directly will do a lot of damage.
Yeah, the alternating current going to be a huge item spike onto this Fox. Expect to see in it first item he's going to purchase, and then comboing that with a Dragon's Eye. That's the most common build with a CP Vox. And also you're going to be having onto the back lane then the Samuel that just got picked up. There's quite a reliable pick into that jungle with the CP burst damage when he hits that level 2. So nice early game on their side. But onto the back lane, you're going to have Saw and Samuel. They're going to be taking quite a lot of damage because you're going to have the front lane that's going to be created by this Lance, and just Vox able to put the full damage of the resonance if this Saw and Samuel are close enough to the Lance. It's going to be interesting how it's going to pan out. Anyway, we should be going into the game any moment now. And Flash, what are expectations going into this first game?
Ludicity is going to have to be very careful of the early game pressure coming out of the side of From Mars. Not only is Saw great in the lane and pushing the turrets, Samuel is too. He runs up to lane, drops that Drifting Dark, and starts hitting a ton of damage with the Mouse and Vertex. On the flip side of that, Ludicity also has really strong counterplay potential. It's hard traditionally for a Saw to push into a CP Vox because whenever Saw gets close to that minion wave, Vox is able to stay at a greater range and use those resonant bounce damage to out of his Julia's song just to use it in his advantage to keep Saw at bay. And that being said, if Saw or Samuel overstep, you're going to have this Glaive rotating up to lane, looking for these ganks when this enemy team is pressuring their turret. And if he can find the right afterburn, followed by a Vanguard from the Arden, From Mars needs to be very careful and wary of that as well.
Yeah, if they can do the rotations and be absolutely on point with those, they can just try and shut down their early game / mid game phase. like just take the gold, take their rotations in the jungle. That would be a very good advantage for them to do in the early phase. And yeah, so we're now into the Haushen Fold, ready and set to go for this first game of a BO5 Team Ludicity against From Mars. It's going to be very interesting, and they're going to be going for the slow rotation, just wanting to hit those very critical level 2, and most importantly, there on the Samuel, this Drifting Dart will be absolutely the most important upcoming in this first fight.
Yeah, it does look like Ludicity is going to opt for that CP Vox. BlueStacks is going to be the one playing it. Daniel on that saw, he's going to have to be careful of the bounces coming out of Julia's song. Mars applying a little bit of pressure down in the jungle, teasing those small doubles just a little bit. Slim trying to contest him.
Yeah, and looks like we're going to have this first Elder Chin. Oh, going to be locked down by the side off From Mars. Quite a faster rotation there. You do have Daniel on this sword who was able to clear the camp so effectively that they just had such a good head start. They just got to the Elder Chin and locked it down as fast as possible. So first nice rotation. And looks like Daniel is just going to try and pressurize right off the bat onto BlueStack, just keeping it at bay and just taking as much farm as possible to get it under that first turret.
Daniel definitely understands that his biggest window of opportunity is in this early game before Vox has built up a lot of crystal power. 2G's applying a little bit of pressure going in for that route, and now Daniel is going to start laying siege to this first turret.
Yeah, only 1 minute 30 seconds in, and BlueStacks has already popped out his healing flask. It does not have that save item available, and going to be just saved there by the gauntlet. And this one we're going to be connecting, suppressing fire, able to just keep him in that little range. And he's still, when Impale comes out, it could be first blood. We do have the rotation of Too Sweaty. Afterburn, going to put him under turret. Daniel, oh, using the shank, able to finish with the first blood. Over to Daniel, bomb from Mars. Impale going to connect him, able to give a little bit more time for Daniels. Unfortunately, will be going down too slim. Well, at times, Nas did just take that Elder Trin and take in also the little bit of the front camps from Team Ludicity.
That was an absolutely beautiful gank out of Too Sweaty on that glaive. That's exactly what I was talking about before the game started. That the side of From Mars is going to have to be very careful. When glaive is coming up to lane, those afterburn under turrets when Saw is trying to lay siege is something that can easily be punished. Daniel with the huge outplay right there, dropping the roadie run to find the shank onto BlueStacks was absolutely stellar counterplay. But he needs to make sure he's going back up to lane to defend a counter push coming out of the side of Ludicity.
Yeah, right now Daniel's doing what he has to do, trying to poke as much damage onto BlueStacks. He was able to purchase then Heavy Steel. He's able just on Saw in the early phase, going to be such an important item. And BlueStack just staying at bay once again, does not have that healing flask for the next 30 seconds, so going to be that much more vulnerable. And be careful there, Nas going to be caught out. Using the healing flask, trying to rotate from the top. BlueStack going to be there in that CP Vox, not doing that much damage onto his simple auto attacks right now. Doesn't have the alternating current. And Nas will be able to survive another day, rotating from the enemy's jungle. And be careful there, Daniel. Going to be using the roadie run. Slim quite low, taking the damage from the auto attacks from Daniel. Doesn't have the healing flask available. Where are we going down to? The suppressing fire. And that's going to be 2-1 in 3 minutes 40 seconds for Team From Mars.
Great kill from Daniel right there. Great rotation by Nas to get out of there. It seemed like he didn't have anywhere to go, but he was able to drop that Drifting Darkness. Find a little bit of a counterplay. He's got a turret here. He's going to be working towards a Serpent's Mask. With that Heavy Steel and the Barbed Needle, the Serpent's Mask is going to be the first item he picks up. Super strong on Saw, allowing him to pick up a ton of sustain up in the lane. He's going to drop, though.
Yeah, he's going to drop on the 2GS. Should be going there. Afterburn, connecting for Too Sweaty. Going to be picking up 2 kills into that lane. Now it's going to be into the enemy's jungle there of Team Ludicity. Just trying to get a bit of upfront damage with the Drifting Dark. And going to be putting that lane minion, the lane minions there under the turret. Going to be using a little bit of experience and gold there. But looks like going to be backing out. And yeah, so right now they just have to pay attention, as you said earlier, Flash. The afterburns are going to be absolutely crucial. And I think that Daniel there, unfortunately, was not respecting the damage of a CP Vox auto attacks. Even though it wasn't really the resonance doing the work there for him, it was really just the pure auto attacks. And he just got the alternating current. He wasn't ready for the item spike to be purchased that early, I expect.
I definitely agree with you. A little bit of interesting itemization coming out of Daniel. He's going to go for a light armor, level 1. So he's not too concerned about the crystal power coming out of this CP Vox. But we're past the 5-minute mark now, and Ludicity has done a great job defending this first turret. The rotations out of their jungle have been great in order to defend. But it looks like this is going to be the first full-on team fight with everyone grouped from both sides now.
Yeah, Daniel going already mid-HP, and the fight hasn't really started right now with the CP Vox just able to use and apply that resonance suppressing fire. Going to keep him in position. Got the ready one coming out. Impale can be connecting onto the... Get bursting through the ground with the damage. Daniel just bursting through, making his own damage, trying to take him down. Oblivion going to be going down, not going to be connecting, just trying to keep them at bay. And this first turret will be secured for the side of From Mars. Just trying to apply a little bit more pressure. Now they're going to be rotating down to the jungle. Nice first push there on this first turret from Team From Mars after burn going down. Can use the healing fluff on us, able to tank up a little bit of that damage. Also the Blood Sun coming out, not able to get the killing and finishing blow onto Nas. Unfortunately, Daniel a little bit out of position, will be going down. And so was Slim, and now we got a little bit of a 2v2, too sweaty, very low on HP. Doesn't seem he wants to look for an engagement right now. I'm going to be using the boost there, taking one shot of that. Oh no, coming back in with the Impale, nicely placed with rejection wall. Blue stacks. Cannot do anything, unfortunately, and the Drifting Dog just will be taking the last blow, finished by the corrected genius from Nas. Nice pick off there.
I am really impressed with the captain play coming out of 2Gs. That Impale to go over that wall right there, followed up by the beautiful Githian wall to set up the kill for Nas was absolutely gorgeous. They're going to be able, like you said, they found that first turret. They know that they picked up the 2 kills on the carries. That's going to make it really easy for them to go for this miner as long as Slim doesn't find a steal, which with how great the last hit potential is from the Rhodey run shank, they are not going to be able to find it. And From Mars are going to be able to pick up that gold mine.
And that's what's interesting. When you win a team fight, try and get as many objectives as possible. They got an objective, won a team fight, took a gold miner, took also a little bit of the enemy's farm. So that's what you want to see rotation-wise. You win a fight, you turn it into objectives. And that's what From Mars has been doing quite well right until now. We're going to see if they keep doing that throughout this game. You do have the Crystal Sentry, the still has all those lives up. It's going to be a very important objective just to be able to fight a little bit longer when you have that Samuel just able to dive in the enemy's jungle. It's going to be absolutely crucial. And Nas does have then the Dragon's Eye onto the Samuel for a little bit now. He does have that. It's a true item spike when you have Samuel. Infusion just got popped there for Daniel. Afterburn going to be missed out onto that minion. Oblivion very defensive to help out Daniel. With the goal, able to stun up the 2Gs. Able to escape with that healing blast. Able to tank up that turret shot. And it will be the death of Blue Stack. Then back in, be careful. Suppressing fight. Able to get a little bit of slow on Too Sweaty and Slim. Unfortunately, they will not be able to pick up the kill right yet, and you do have the sword just taking down this turret. Like a knife through butter, just destroying it up. Oh, so the Impale onto Slim, able to CC him down, will be able to escape. Blue Stack coming up just to try and kill down the resting of that wave. Nice push once again, getting 2 turrets in 8 minutes 30 seconds.
They're starting to extend their lead here, despite only being up 2 kills. They have accumulated a 6k gold lead at just 8 minutes into the game, and they are not letting up at all. They're going on to this 3rd turret. Ludicity losing their 3rd turret in under 9 minutes. This is the early game lead that From Mars needed to find. They didn't find it in the early game. They're starting to really put it together here in this mid game once they've gotten some items underneath their belts. Saw with that Serpent's Mask, Tyrant's Monocle build. He's having no fear. He's going into Ludicity.
Yeah, no fear, just fight. They're going to be able to connect and suppressing fire, getting the killing blow onto Too Sweaty. This game is all for From Mars. What's happening right now? They're just able to take so many objectives, early turrets, and we haven't even talked about the gold advantage. We're 9 minutes in, and the gold advantage is sitting on a nice and healthy 8,000 extra gold. And that's huge. When you're only 9 minutes in a game, it's just almost impossible to come back.
Yeah, they're accumulating their lead, about 1,000 gold per minute. They're about to pick up another gold mine, extend their lead even further. This is exactly what From Mars needed to do. You really want to see Ludicity stick together more, take those team fight engagements, especially in the early game when From Mars wasn't together. That is really when Ludicity was finding the most success, is when they were able to force the engagements when they knew From Mars was separated, and they need to try and do that now. From Mars have kind of pieced it together. They know that when they are full strength, when they have both carries with their captain Lance, that they're going to be able to find the CC that they want, all the crowd control from Githyan, Wall, Impale, and Oblivion. Just really hard for Ludicity to try and deal with. And From Mars starting to push this lane now. They really don't need to overextend. They don't need to force anything. If they really wanted to just slow play it until the Kraken comes up, they definitely could. I think they should try and look for taking some charges off of these Crystal Sentries, but it looks like they're going to try and just start pushing into their base. But like I was saying earlier, they are a little split right now, and I don't know if Ludicity realizes this, because that would be a really good engagement for them.
Yeah, and that's just coming up to try and give you extra help. And right now they're just trying to finish this game quite early. They're just waiting for the next minion wave to come up, and they're going to be going for this first Vain turret. Wait for it, going to be going out. Daniel going to be stunned up. Unfortunately, Daniel taking too much damage. Finished by the Blood Song. Oh, too sweaty. Impale connecting just onto that. He does have the Echo, able to get the double shitting wall. Unfortunately, was not upright then with the Gauntlet, able to come out. Unfortunately, going to be missing off the mark. Trying to do that. 2G's able to save up with the shitting wall. Just a little bit extra time. Nah, it's going to try and regen. He does have the Corrupted Genius available to get the regen if he wants to. Going to be after burning him, and Nas will be going down. This will not be an ace, just of a few seconds before the respawn of Daniel, so no ace given over to Team Ludicity, but a little bit of an overstep there, I would say, for From Mars, trying to go a little bit too far in the enemy base.
Yeah, From Mars, they do give up quite a few gold bounty kills right there, but they still have an 8k gold lead, and honestly, that's not necessarily a bad trade for them. Ludicity only has one turret left standing. If From Mars wins just one more team fight or creates an advantage for them to pressure into the base, it will be game over with this lead they've accumulated now. But Daniel, way out of position, my friend. You're dead.
Yeah, it just got caught out, unfortunately. Tried to go a little bit too far. The No Fear Just Fight, unfortunately, does have its limits sometimes, and that's just to show it. Do not go solo in the enemy jungle. Impale on too sweaty. Just try to win a little bit more time. They have a huge minion wave on the side of Team Lucidity, which you Oblivion trying to clear that wave as effectively as possible. Which you have to then connect him onto Nas, just positioning him under his own turret. That song not going to be connecting, unfortunately. BlueStack still there, trying to get the shared damage. Nas, oh, the resonance doing the work. CPU Vox is back, and he is strong. Too sweaty using Afterburn, trying to get out of that. He's not full HP, while Daniel still there, just taking down that huge minion wave. And Nas just backed out, just getting a bit more items. And yeah, just gonna see what's gonna be panning out, trying to rotate now onto this new gold miner, turning it once again into objectives.
Yeah, it's another full gold mine payout for the side of From Mars. That gold lead gonna be accumulating even further. Daniel starting to ramp up now. He has 2 Tyrants monocles. He's recognized all of the armor coming out of the side of Ludicity. He's got that piercing spear. I definitely expect him to work towards a bone saw, and a bone saw on Saw is absolutely nasty. He can shred through armor so quickly with all that attack speed, and that's something that Ludicity is gonna have to be very aware of.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of start of the fight there. With double Impale, going to be going on to BlueStack. With the Gauntlet, able to keep in the rain. This sword is going to be deleted. Daniel, unfortunately, just overstepping way too much in that fight. Having too much confidence with the Oblivion connecting. Putting asleep the Vox. Now we're going to be in a little bit of a 2v2. Vox is just out of the bay. Coming back in now, strong as ever. Wisdom. Oh no, going to get deleted there. Wisdom, Molly, some Verdict empowered with that Drifting Dark. And unfortunately, it's going to be the double kill. And From Mars, going to be trying to secure the ace any second now. I've been trying to pick up a little bit of a fight there, but not going to be strong enough. He is the support of the team and will be going down, giving up a triple kill and an ace to Team From Mars. And they do have a quite nice minion wave. They will surely try to end it any second now. But BlueStacks and Too Sweaty will be spawning back soon.
Yeah, From Mars needs to be careful right here. That last turret falling down. They're going to be onto the Vein Crystal. Nas looking to end it, uses his Oblivion, gets a little bit of extra damage onto the Vein Crystal, but he unfortunately is gonna fall. Daniel nowhere in sight to provide any sort of backup support for them.
Oh, 2Gs. Oh, the reflex block. Unfortunately, Waypoint coming out with the afterburn follow up. Too Sweaty picking up the kill. Daniel just trying to change that. Unfortunately, that lost team fight into an objective, taking another extra life out of that Crystal Sentry. Oh, they must try and stay together because, it is Vainglory. Comebacks are always possible. If they do not try and stick together as a team, I think Ludicity still have their chances.
Yeah, they're starting to find some life as the game progresses. They're starting to pick up those items. They have 2 Atlases now. If they use them perfectly, Daniel doesn't have a reflex block. He's not going to be able to block up these Atlases. And if he loses all of his attack speed, that's going to be a huge source of damage that From Mars is losing out on. He has 3 Tyrant's Monocles now, along with that Piercing Spear. The crit damage coming out of Saw is going to be absolutely immense. Nas not even hesitating to start up this Kraken. He understands very well how quickly Saw can shred through this Kraken.
Oblivion coming out will be secured there by the Knowledge on verdicts there. 2 Sweaty going very low, will be going down, unfortunately. 2Gs trying to get there. Going to use the Gauntlet, able to be very defensive on that one, just able to give the extra time to escape BlueStack, taking quite a chunk of damages with that Knowledge on verdict. Going to be coming out with a Crystal Sentry, able to apply the extra slow. Will be using his own healing flask to be able to out-sustain that. 2Gs coming back up, trying to take down the Crystal Sentry. Daniel has the time, and the Mollis on verdict of air. Nas will be deleting BlueStacks. Going to be able to escape from that Oblivion. Slim going to be a one-man standing there with the Kraken still full HP. And the Pain Turret absolutely destroyed, no defense left. This will be surely GG for Team From Mars, just going to be pummeling down this Vayne Crystal, and it's going to be first game over to Team From Mars on Team Ludicity.
I definitely understand why From Mars opted for that Lance pick. 2Gs is an absolute beast on this Lance. All of his Githian walls, all of his impales were so on point. The amount of crowd control that he was providing for his team really was critical. Nas and Daniel obviously providing that backline damage that they needed, but it was 2Gs setting up quite a bit of those plays. And as soon as they took the Kraken, as soon as Vox went down, it was pretty much game over.
Yeah, as you said that, I wasn't really too keen into the draft phase for 2G's pick up on that Lance. It was just played so well and so effectively. He got a huge amount of CC, getting the Echo with the double Impale or the double Shittian Wall if he was able to get multiple CC down. Was just working so well to keep in range for Daniel all the time. He had, just to prove, he had no boots. That would mean he didn't need to reposition. That means that the amount of synergy coming out of Daniel with 2G and also Nas to keep the enemy heroes in their bay area, able to dash out the damage as often as possible, was just working so well. They were able to take the game. First game of this BO5, Team Ludicity against From Mars. We're going over to Team From Mars. I'm going to be trying to head as soon as possible into the second draft.
Yeah, Daniel definitely committing to as much damage output as possible, especially with that last Kraken push. He knew very well that fighting in the jungle where Lance has a lot of walls that he's able to stun up those enemies with the Echo, he didn't need to have any defense. He would have lifestealed just fine with his Serpent's Mask and those 3 Tyrant's Monocles with the Piercing Spear, and even the extra critical strike on top of it would be super effective. I would have really liked to have seen Ludicity, the Glaive, go for a little bit more upfront burst damage. I don't think you necessarily want to go for a long, sustained fight against Saw. I understand why you might want the Poison Shiv in order to try and reduce some of the healing coming out of that Serpent's Mask, but honestly, if you can't kill Saw within the first 2 or 3 seconds of an engagement with him, you're in trouble anyways.
Yeah, if you got those spin-up stacks, and as I said earlier, like if the Lance can also bring the fight to you and keep it in range with the CC, it's just going to enable him to scale up so effectively. So yeah, going up with more burst damage, and Vox is not also the most bursty hero you do have in this meta. So unfortunately, I say it was much more about smart drafting on the side of From Master, was able to get up with the win, and how they were able to play with that much more synergy to combo up those heroes perfectly, able to pick up the kills. Unfortunately, sometimes they would go a little bit too far, trying to go into 2v3 situations. They would sometimes get picked up and not being able to finish the game. They could have finished it that much more earlier. I think in 12 minutes, that game could have been finished if they were trying to stick up and play a little bit more I could say professionally, I think I could say, trying to get the win at 100%. But still, anyway, nice play from Mars. And going into the second draft quite soon, what do you expect coming out of these two teams? Knowing that now from Mars will be on the A side, what do you think also will be the attitude of Team Ludicity on that B side? Maybe banning enough Saw or doing those kind of draft situations.
From Mars, very comfortable with Daniel on that top pick. I personally expect Ludicity to make the adjustment to not let From Mars have that top pick. Saw is actually a hero that has also seen a huge comeback in this 2.12 update with Serpent's Mask, just stacking up those Tyrant's Monocles. It does a ton of damage. It's very hard to kill. On top of that, I really hope that Ludicity recognizes just how comfortable 2Gs is on that Lance and just how advanced a lot of his plays and mechanics were overall. I would not be surprised to see that become one of their targets in this upcoming draft.
Yeah, we should have the draft coming up any moment now. And yeah, just so you said, with the Saw, normally in 5v5, just to talk quickly about 5v5, Saw is the master of split pushing. And when he doesn't need to focus on split pushing in 3v3, he's going to focus down those team fights. And if you're able to get the enemy heroes just in that range and just get the upfront damage and the early phase to take down the early turrets, get the objectives down as fast as possible. So, as we saw with the Kraken, he was able to delete it that much more effectively and fast. It just enables you to destroy any opponent in team fights. If you play his Saw properly, Saw is complicated. As I said with Saw, it's a hero simple to play, but hard to master. If you're able to master the hero as it happened there with Daniel, you can just win almost every team fight you want. And we should be going into the draft now. Yes, second draft for the second game in this BO5. Team Ludicity going to be onto the B side and From Mars onto the A side now. I'm going to be banning off Koshka.
From Mars with that Koshka ban, definitely a super strong hero. And like I said, Ludicity quickly making the adjustment, realizing how comfortable From Mars was on that top pick. However, this does leave open that crystal-powered box that people are so scared of in 5 versus 5. But 2Gs was 2 money on that Lance. So that is going to be the first pick coming out of the side of From Mars.
Yeah, as you said last draft, you thought it was a comfort pick. I think indeed it is his main comfort pick there. Just picking Lance at every occasion he has. And going to be going off with a Rona. So Rona into Lance. If Lance is able to do a good job, as we saw 2G's last game, was able to just get dashed out that much CC, Rona jumping in can get Jithium Walled and Impaled quite easily after she uses that into the fray. And he did go on an Echo also earlier, so the double Jithium Wall onto Rona is that much more effective to keep her in rage, avoid her from using abilities, and even stopping that red mist. And we're going to be having a Vox ban he talked about just there. Will be banned up just to not give it over to the side of From Mars.
I don't necessarily care for the Rona pick out of Ludicity. However, and that's really just primarily because of how strong of a counter Lance is into Rona. However, Ludicity did a great job taking away those 2 last dominant laners. Saw is gone. Vox is gone. There are not many options left for From Mars to take from that are the quote-unquote meta laners in this patch. And Ludicity might even need to flex that Rona into the jungle if that's something they want to do. They definitely can. From Mars going to be answering with the Taka ban. Taka and Rona, when paired together, have extreme dive potential. So if From Mars goes for one of these squishier laners like the Sky that they're locking in right there, the Taka would have been a huge threat. So that's great foresight from the side of From Mars to take away the Taka, lock in the Sky and Blackfeather. Ludicity on their second pick took that Baptiste. Now, Baptiste also going to be making it very hard for these carries, especially Sky, to be able to kite out the Rona, which is something she's definitely going to need to be able to do this game.
And like team From Mars, they just knew what they wanted to pick. They were so fast on those pickups. They were preparing it so long just before they were able to pick up. Just banning attack, as you said, there was going to be an absolute threat towards this Sky. So now you're going to have this very sustainable Blackfeather that I expect to be played as a weapon, Blackfeather, or I don't know. It could also it's complicated. You do have then 2 flex picks that are taken there. Then you're going to have the CC god that's going to be this Baptiste. Baptiste answered, I think, mostly into the last, just saying like you want to dash out some CC. I'm going to dash out with some CC with my Fearsome Shade, with my Ordain, and they're also going to be able to get a lockdown with the Ordain onto the Sky. So even though they weren't preparing for it, as he did pick it before the Sky pickup, it can be effective. You do have then the Black Feather, this the anti-CC hero with the Rose Offensive, just able to get out of any situation. And now we're just going to be waiting for this last pick on the side of Lucidity. So gonna have to see what they want to go. What would you expect them to pick up against Black Feather and Sky here?
It's definitely hard to say. It does look like they ran out of time just a little bit. I think that they were stuck between, do they want to flex the Baptiste into that captain position, or do they want to jungle it? It is going to be a Fortress as their last pickup. That is going to offer, again, dive potential is going to be the name of the game for Ludicity. They're going to get the speed boost coming out of Fortress. Baptiste and Rona going to have to collapse onto the Sky. They don't want to focus the Black Feather. Black Feather is going to be able to use that Rose Offensive to be able to dodge out all of their crowd control. So it's all going to be about protecting their Sky because Ludicity isn't all that squishy. Maybe Baptiste is the only exception. They need to make sure that they are peeling for Sky 2Gs. I have complete faith in his ability to be able to peel for whoever they put on Sky. And if I had to make a prediction, my money is definitely on From Mars.
Yeah, same. I would go absolutely on From Mars. But just to come back on Team Ludicity there, they have the capacity to dive on this Sky. They got the Ordain, able to lock up Sky into a restricted area. They got the dive potential with Truce of the Tooth coming out of the Fortress to give the extra move speed with his allies. And you have a Rona with a gap closure. There's going to be the foe splitter and her into the fray. So if they play nice, if they execute it nicely, they will be able to burst her down. I think they learned from the last game that they didn't have time and they shouldn't let the enemy teams of From Mars scale up. That's what they did with the sword. They let him scale up in the fights. He was able to dash out the damage and finish the team fights super fast. And I think they learned from that and trying to go in a completely different mindset into this second game. And we should be heading into the fold any second now. And yeah, I'm going to be going also with Team From Mars on this one.
Daniel on that Black Feather, Nas 9000 on the Sky. In my mind, because Daniel laned in game 1, he's going to be laning in game 2, which chances are means it's going to be that weapon power Black Feather and crystal power Sky. They could have flexed it depending on what they felt would have been most effective. But like I said, because Ludicity is so tanky, making sure that you poke them down when you're a CP Black Feather may not be the best move. So I definitely expect the weapon power Black Feather to come out, and with Sky starting with those double crystal bits, I definitely think that's going to be a great call. Slim on this Fortress, starting with that Dragon Blood contract, they are going to look to get aggressive early. Right after this first rotation, I expect these teams to be bloodthirsty, look to get aggressive, and try and punish them early and often. Slim also started with his Truth of the Tooth, which means he's going to look for that speed boost for this initial engagement.
Yeah, he's going to be looking to apply that Truth of the Tooth. Whoa, this time again, From Mars looking to secure this first. Elder Tune will be going there over to Nas. And have the forward barrage, able to apply a little bit of upfront damage. Unfortunately, Lance going to be caught out, giving over the first blood to Team Ludicity. Slim going very, very low. They're going to be using the healing flask. Just on time, coming back in, applying once again that stack with the Dragon Blood contract. And there will begin a comeback kill 2-0 there for Team Ludicity. There's a completely different early game than we saw first time.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Ludicity wanted to get aggressive. They did get aggressive. Too sweaty. Finding the steal onto that Elder Treant. 2G's doing his best to try and contest it. It's not going to happen this time, my friend. On the other side, Daniel doing what he can to try and shove his wave under turret. That is a huge kill onto BlueStacks up in the lane because he's going to have so much CS this early into the game that he's going to be missing out on. At best case, his captain and his jungler clean it up, but that turret is going to melt it up, and that's going to set him very far behind.
Yeah, is this a saw again played by Daniel? Because he just pushed all that wave under turret. Such a huge CS loss for BlueStack, just able to put Daniel himself in the lead, and he's just going to go back to purchase once again that heavy steal that he did last game with the saw. And Blackfeather is going to be that much more effective, just able to fight and be auto-sustainable in that lane against a lane Rona. Going to be connecting the on point there, and just the on point BlueStacks has to respect the damage and does not want to go any further to recall and farm up his CS right now, because otherwise he can be CC to the gun. You got 2Gs just available there. Slim, if he gets caught out, not going to be that much of a use. Impel going to be missing out, unfortunately. And overall, like, too sweaty. He has to try and come and help out there. His thing he's doing right now, and using the on point. BlueStacks using the healing flask there. Doesn't have the Rose offensive to get out of the Ordain. You're going to use the Into the Fray, doing the 2v3, and they're still going for the win. But they're coming out. Unfortunately, going to be pushing him to the death. And BlueStacks will be following shortly after that, taken down by a turret shot. Too sweaty there, trying to survive and sustain a little bit more. Using the healing flask, going to be the same for this guy. Where's the Bard Mojo doing the work there? Slim using also his own healing flask, was almost going to take a last turret shot to his desk, and who's also the truth of the two's connecting. Unfortunately, reposition. Oh, just trying to reposition with the Surge Strike, just worked perfectly there, and just was able to delete Slim. And the Too Sweaty should be following up anytime soon. Doesn't have that healing flask, and just okay, just wait in. And he said, I had enough. 2Gs, gonna be taking that kill. And BlueStacks trying to get a little bit comeback there. Gonna use the Egyptian Wall, able to survive another day. BlueStacks gonna be going with no kills.
Yeah, definitely. Great turnaround play from the side of From Mars. They found themselves down 2 kills after their first rotation. Now they're up 4 kills to 3. And again, 4 minutes into the game, already a 2K gold lead. That just goes to show how detrimental it was for BlueStacks to miss all of those CS under his first turret. We see Nas picking up the bases to either a Shatterglass or a Dragon's Eye. Playing a CP Sky, though, you need to be careful about Fortress's Wolves from his attack of the pack body blocking his forward barrage. So that's definitely something he needs to be wary of. It does look like he's maxing Surge Strike first, which I think is a great answer to that. A lot of people sometimes will max the forward barrage first, but because it is a fortress, because they are so tanky, that's exactly what they want. And they're finding an engagement underneath.
Yeah, on the turret, and they're going to be deleting this Rona. Where's that Bane of Heart? Slim going very low, will be giving over the double kill to Daniel. Daniel just doing so much work there. Bard Mojo connecting, gave him a little bit of extra sustain for Too Sweaty. Got the forward barrage there. Too Sweaty just staying there a little bit. Going to be missing the Impale. 2G's going to be locked down by that Ordain, using the fountain for himself. Bard Mojo just surviving with an inch of HP before getting that new stack of regen with the fountain. Come back in a 2v3 there. BlueStacks looks like they want to look for an engagement, not too much at the same time. Now do have Slim there coming out. Well, they are a little bit separated on the side of From Mars. They could maybe try and look for an engage. Gonna have to able to root up this. Oh no, where's that Ordain Rose offensive? Just popped out on time for Daniel. Just able to get out of that CC god that is the Batiste. And we'll be surviving there. Like, unfortunately, they were not able to pick up this 3v2 situation. Daniel just getting that level 6 just on time to survive the Ordain of the Batiste.
Yeah, being able to use that Rose offensive to get out of the engagement was crucial in order to make sure he wasn't giving up any kills. I thought for sure they had overstayed and overstepped those boundaries, but the mechanics out of Daniel on that Blackfeather, absolutely superior. Able to steal away a camp, extend their kill lead up 6-3 now. And Daniel's just going to go up to lane and he's going to say, you know what, Rona? I made you miss a bunch of CS underneath your first turret. Now I'm just going to let your wave push and make you miss even more.
Yeah, they're just going to try and freeze that, just get that huge wave and just give it that extra CS to Daniel. He's already got his first item there, and he looks like he's going to be going towards probably a breaking point on that next item. That's going to be quite effective because you have Slim and Too Sweaty on that front lane, and also BlueStacks just full front lane heroes there, and well, Nas does secure that Treant. And just he's going to be able to build those stacks so effectively throughout the fight, because you have like easy ranged heroes just available in front of you to dash out your free damage on. And Daniel going to be rotating there into a 1v3, a little bit separated from his teammates. He did that with Saw earlier, and he's doing it again. Hoping to see maybe to not throw a few team fights like last time. Maybe stick a little bit more together. That's the advice I would give there.
Yeah, From Mars definitely doing exactly what they need to execute. One thing that they need to be really careful of is as this game progresses, as Rona continues to scale, the amount of healing coming out of her Serpent's Mask and all the fortified health from her Red Mist is going to be hard for them to handle. But
with the fist from Shade there. Going to be shutting down right off the bat. Too Sweaty in that early team fight with the red mist. Going to be able to tank up a bit of damage. Be careful, Daniel. You're going very low and going to get deleted. With also the Magician Wall able to win a little bit more time for Nast. Able to reposition with auto attack and his passive. Unfortunately, red mist doing the job there. And they might try and secure an ace. But unfortunately, 4 seconds before the respawn of Daniel they will be not giving the ace over, and the Chuchis will be surviving that with his healing flask. And yeah, just overall, like, unfortunately, Too Sweaty just getting deleted so early in the team fight. He was just turning it to a 2v3 situation so effectively, and at the end, like 2v3, when you have a Black Feather and the Sky, it's super hard to come back from.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. Because Daniel opted for that Serpent's Mask, it's going to be really hard for them to cut down the healing, both from the Vampirism, from the Fortified Health that's going to come out of this Rona. I personally would have liked to have seen him opt for that Poison Shiv to just help reduce the amount of healing coming out of Rona. Batiste also very reliant upon that lifesteal as well. And then Fortress making both of those abilities stronger. I think the Poison Shiv would have been the better answer, but ultimately we'll just have to wait and see how the rest of this game progresses.
Yeah, I'm talking about game progression. The gold miner will be killed on the side of From Mars, just getting that 300 gold per member on Team From Mars, and that huge, once again, that huge wave into the lane, just Daniel. The CS lead, he's at already 70. Well, Blue Stack is sitting on the poor 37, just so late on his gold and on his items right now, and it's just like From Mars once again just showing their dominance in this game. Well, I'm going to be a little bit caught out there into a 2v3. Nice Magician Wall, able to just win enough time for Daniel to escape that little engagement, and Nas now coming up to the lane, able to give out that extra support, and should have in the team fight coming out anytime soon, as they are trying to have a little bit of a push on the side of Team Ludicity. And you see Can 2G's there, is really just looking for the perfect impale situation. It looks like Nas just going to be rotating back to his jungle. No team fights for now.
Daniel's wave management has been absolutely perfect. That's why his CS is literally double that of BlueStacks. His item progression much further along. He's already at 2 tier 3 items. BlueStacks only sitting at 1. And Daniel is actually just going to pick up his 3rd tier 3 item here at just 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah, gonna have a little bit of a soft fight there. It's infusion time for Nas. He does have the infusion. Well, we do have the attack of the pack coming out there. With also the extra damage. There's some shake gonna be blocked out perfectly by the handle. Kept coming back in BlueStacks. Unfortunately, we're gonna be bursting through the ground. And oh my god, top ceiling damage onto Daniel, just getting bursted right away. Trying to reposition there. Nas, careful, Magician Wall gonna be ordained there. Well, with Sewage Strike. Lord Barrage just trying to get the perfect position. And he's also that very defensive Death from above. Impale going to be ordained once again there. Nas, oh my god, first, but anyway, he does not care. And we'll be picking up 2 extra kills onto Slim and Too Sweaty, not giving the ace over because BlueStacks is already spawned. Anyways, just he was able to stay alive so long with the help of 2Gs. Like, that was very nice synergy.
That was very lucky for the side of From Mars at the very last second of that team fight. Too Sweaty was mid-cast animation for his Fearsome Shade. It had come back up a second time throughout the course of that team fight, and he was mid-animation for casting it one more time on a From Mars. Had that come out, he would have forced both Nas and 2Gs backwards, caught them with another ordained, dropped those huge badge mojos, and that fight could have been completely different if he did manage to stay alive just a little bit longer. But From Mars sitting on 2 infusions right now. That's a huge power spike that they're going to want to capitalize on, making sure that they're continuing to extend the 6k gold lead. They are on to the gold miner and looking up for another immense gold payout.
Yeah, this looks just like last game. Sometimes Daniel a little bit overextending, just getting deleted sometimes. And once again, focusing a lot of these objectives, a lot of gold advantage and CS advantage on the side of Team From Mars. And it's just going to keep scaling up because they still have their first turret available on side of From Mars. And this is just a start. We're only 12 minutes in.
Rona getting a weapon infusion to try and counter it out a little bit. But like I said, From Mars has this infusion advantage. They're sitting on 2 infusions. Nas is 9,000, starting to tick. just a little bit low, and From Mars is going to look to start to siege his turret, but you can't have your Sky in the front line taking up those bad mochos.
Yeah, be careful. That's one coming out. Going to be able to get a little bit of CC on Too Sweaty. Unfortunately, coming back in with the fearsome shade, blocked out by 2PS. Going back in there, be careful. Blue Stack's going to be using his own healing splash to position him with the Rose defensive. Red Mist doing the job though, tanking a lot of damage. 2Gs, be careful. You do not want to go down right now. And can be followed up. Where's that? The truth of the twos. 2v3 situation there, but it doesn't look like Nas and Daniel all calling it a day right now. Still going to be trying to stay a little bit more while Daniel is taking up that extra farm for himself. And they're trying to stay a little bit too long. Unfortunately, going to use that Ordain quite soon onto Nas, able to keep him in that restrained area. Going to be using a nice reflex block to get away. Unfortunately, that will be the end. And be connected the Fearsome Shade onto Daniel. That was not expected. Use the reflex block to get out of the Ordain. Unfortunately, no, going to be using it way too early. Going to be kept onto the ground. Doesn't have his Rose offensive. Will be going down. The ace, it will not be an ace because 2Gs was back. But that's why Kill overstay. Now that's something the From Mars been doing a little bit too often right now.
That is not good from the side of From Mars. They were sitting on almost an 8k gold lead before that engagement started. Ludicity finding the return kills that they needed. Rona only has 2 tier 3 items right now. Blackfeather was sitting on 4 plus an infusion, and somehow Ludicity able to find the upper hand and the advantage, getting the win out of that one team fight, starting to close the gap here a little bit. And I really think that as this game progresses, as Ludicity continues to scale, they might be able to come back into this game.
Yeah, 2G's a little bit caught out there, taking a little bit of upfront damage. Going to be just zoned out by Nuts with that forward barrage. And now it's infusion time also for 2Gs. Gonna have that CP infusion, just able to CC much more with that vision wall. It's gonna be that much more effective now in those team fights. And looks like gonna be going for another gold miner.
Yeah, they are. They want to continue, get the objectives that they can, continue to apply a little bit of pressure. They have 2 infusions again. Lance has actually popped a crystal infusion. Personally, I would have liked to have seen him work towards the Echo that he had last game. The amount of crowd control that he was able to dish out with his Githian walls was absolutely superior. Getting that as quick as possible would have been important, but Daniel under a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, getting a little bit caught out there. Will be able to survive mid HP. That's the problem though. Again, From Mars, stop overextending. Try and play a little bit more as a team. Even though the synergy and micro and macro plays in the fights are fine, it's just when they're out of team fights, they just tend to go a little bit too far. And that can be their downfall, and that might even sometimes give a kill. Oh no, the Vision Shade from Too Sweaty, the complete opposite direction. Just gonna have to pay attention for the next 40 seconds before that ability is back up.
I have a feeling Too Sweaty was trying to upgrade one of his abilities right there, having just hit level 12 or having just recently hit level 12. Regardless, definitely a misclick, not what he was looking for, but From Mars needs to be careful.
Yeah, be careful now. It's taking a lot of damage there. Gonna be using the Crucible just on time there. Oh, nice impair onto Blue Stacks. Able to keep them in the bay. Nice triple twist and wall. Able to get a triple CC onto them. And looks like Team Ludicity are calling this a day. Just trying to go as far as possible. But Blue Stacks stay in the Rona. No dangerous fight with a triple impale coming out. Bomb 2Gs engaging once again with that into the fray. Nice hitching wall once again. And they're stopping. They're closing down the escape route with that death from above just on time. Able to take down then Blue Stacks. There was a little bit too upfront on that team fight. And Too Sweaty just trying to get a bit of poke with that Bard Mojo. He knows the team from Mars is very low. And they will be just backing out to base. Well, 2G's there just trying to keep a little bit of information on that Triumph.
Too Sweaty, great positioning during the duration of that team fight. Staying in the back line, peeling when he needed to peel, engaging with the Ordain or Fearsome Shade whenever he needed to. Full health From Mars, looking to get aggressive. They understand that Blue Sky's still down for the moment, but they're looking for an engagement on a Too Sweaty.
Yeah, Too Sweaty gonna use a Fearsome Shade. Gonna be blocked out by 2Gs. 2Gs has been absolutely on point with those Crucibles. Just, I think no Fearsome Shade, maybe one a little bit earlier, but no Fearsome Shade were able to make it into those team fights. And Blue Stacks going to be trying to stay a little bit away, and that's really nice play for Team From Mars, just trying to secure this Kraken. And Daniel onto the front lane, just able to win a little bit more time. And the engagement comes out. Whoa, we do have the Impale and the Shishin Wall able to keep into the Bay area. Blue Stacks come back in with that forward barrage. Unfortunately, BlueStacks will be able to get out of the range, and this will be the first Kraken of the game secured for Team from Mars.
Yeah, great objective control and focus, and really just objective splitting from Mars right there. They secure the Kraken, but with 4 turrets still left standing, CP Sky weapon power not the best for trying to siege down these turrets. But that being said, Ludicity doesn't really have that great of counter siege either, so it'll be interesting to see what they try and make of this.
Yeah, 2G's get already a double CC on Team Ludicity. Now it's going to be able to take away Team Ludicity from the main objective that they wanted to focus. There was that Kraken that's still pushing, and Daniel just focusing it down, leaving 2G's. And Nas just taking the 2v3 situation, and this choke point turret will be going down to the Kraken Rose offensive to get out of the Ordain. Daniel just in a 1v3 fight, going to be going into the enemy base, unfortunately. Nice block coming out of 2G's onto that Fism Shade. Nas just keeping in the bay there. There is going to be Ordain Impel connecting onto this support fortress. And Daniel just focusing the other turret. This is something just very, very interesting. Just trying to take down those Vayne turrets as effectively as possible. Careful BlueStack, nice block, able to block out that Zishan wall. Nas going to be a little bit caught out there. And we do have there Daniel. Going to be unfortunately Ordain. Does not have any Rose offensive available. Just going to be bursted through the roof with that Bard Mojo. 2G's going to be missing out that Impel. And just Nas and 2G's just overstaying. And this might be a comeback ace from them. If they're able to pick them up, they're going to be able to pick up Nas 30 seconds before the respawn of Daniel. I think this is going to be the first ace over from Team Ludicity. And trying to sustain it. Oh, he's able to stay a long time alive. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be, yeah, the Ordain will have reason of 2G's, and this will be giving the first ace over in these 2 games for Ludicity.
Ludicity able to pick up the ace there. That's huge. They're gonna just tank out this first turret, secure an extra gold payout, 200 gold in their pockets. 2G's did a great job trying to stall it out for as long as he possibly could. Unfortunately, successful. Ludicity also looking for this Crystal Sentry pickup, which they are able to find. Daniel coming back a little bit late, positioning just a little bit aggressively. I'm not sure that he needs to necessarily be out this far with 2G's still down, but he does have those road defensive charges to get out if he needs to. Ludicity going to clear up the jungle, try and establish at least a little bit of positioning control. I would love to see Fortress sell off that Dragon Blood contract. He still has it at 20 minutes into the game. He needs to sell it and try and use it for something else. But 2G's coming in from the backside.
Yeah, going to be a little bit quiet out there. They're still coming back strong with a double CC. Impel going to be connecting there onto 2 Sweaty, and BlueStack just the fire just started, and Rona is already so low. Fism Shade going to be blocked out, unfortunately, a little bit late on 2G's. Not very on point with that Crucible. Going to be using a nice block, able to get out of the Ordain. Unfortunately, Nas will be going down to this fortress. Impel Daniel trying to do a 2v2 situation while 2 Sweaty did go down just now. BlueStack just got the 18 stacks on that breaking point and the 20 stacks onto Daniel. And they're just going to be backing out because one auto attack could have been the end there with those stacks on the breaking point. Daniel going to be slowed down. Impel going to be connecting out. Kitchen Wall able to stop the animation of that red mist, and unfortunately just went a little bit too far, was a little bit too confident, and was taken down by BlueStacks.
2G's trying to make that hero play, take down Rona. That would have been a free Kraken for the side of From Mars had he found that kill. Unfortunately, he's going to go down himself, and that means that if Kraken spawns here, which it should within the next couple of seconds, Ludicity can definitely go for it, and it is on the map right now. That's something that they're going to have to be very wary of. One thing I would love to point out at the start of that last team fight when they were in the Kraken pit, 2G's actually used his Githian wall to cancel Attack of the Pack coming out of Slim, and that was why that team fight was really as close as what it was. I think that if Slim gets those Attack of the Pack off at this point in time, Ludicity has scaled enough to where the gold differential really doesn't matter. I just think that Rona and Baptiste, if they play it correctly, if 2G's misses Crucible onto Fearsome Shade, that Ludicity should be able to take down this team fight.
Yeah, that was absolutely crucial because Attack of the Pack against the Sky is that much more effective, just able to tank up and front lane for the side of Ludicity to stop the forward barrage. And one time we do have maybe a little engagement coming up quite soon. A little bit old tech of the pack. Going to be used in a much more defensive position. And now just going to try and take out these wolves. Just going to be backing out. And now the ultimate back in 70 seconds. Team fight will be a very big advantage now for From Mars.
2Gs, he did pop his war treads to get out of that engagement. It looks like Nas and 2Gs trying to start cracking, but Daniel's by himself. They need to make sure that they're communicating exactly what they want to do. That was a Githian wall used to cancel the Fearsome Shade.
Yeah, be careful, Ronad. Using a red mist to try and tank it out. Unfortunately, the CC from 2Gs is way above average and just going to be able to stop that red mist animation and the fortified health. And it looks like now Team From Mars are going to be looking to finish this game right now. Well, this new minion wave is coming up, and this will be game number 2 once again for Team From Mars.
Great execution. Daniel, even though he was going in by himself, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. His teammates rotated and had his back as soon as he needed the help. Great execution. Again, the Githian walls coming out of 2Gs have been absolutely insane. I can't emphasize that enough. I think he canceled 2 Fearsome Shades this game alone, 1 Attack of the Pack this game alone. And if you are using that ability to cancel ultimate abilities that all have cooldowns longer than a minute, you are going to be doing a tremendous amount of work. And that is about as much as a captain can possibly be the carry for his team.
Yeah, if Flash says your captain was good, that's a huge thing. And so this second game going to be secured up for Team From Mars. We are into a BO5. That means next game is going to be a win or lose situation for both teams. So if From Mars take the next game, it will be a win on their part. We're going to have to see if Ludicity are going to try and change mentality and try and come back with a lot more upfront heroes, trying to burst down and go for very early dives. Didn't happen this much into this game. Sometimes they were able to take down Nas. Yeah, what are you expecting to come out into this last game, Flash, into the draft?
I really think that Ludicity needs to be wary of this Lance and just how good his Lance play has been. I can't say it enough. I really can't. The Githian walls have always been on point for really whenever he has needed them. One thing that I really think Ludicity needs to make aware, and what gave the side of From Mars the advantage in that last team fight, is Slim didn't have any armor on the fortress. He held his Dragon Blood contract the entire game. He had it at 23 minutes when the game ended, the item that he started with. And the reason why Daniel took that engagement that he did, even though he was by himself, he went on to fortress. And by the time Rona and Blackfeather realized what was happening, he already had 10 breaking point stacks already set up, ready to go, and that's truly just a huge adjustment that they need to make. But looks like we're about ready to get into draft for game number 3, and this could be it. It is all or nothing for the side of Ludicity.
Yeah, they're going to try and be a little bit more upfront with this next match. I'm going to have to check out if this Koshka is going to be once again this hero that they want to ban out. So problematic. On the side of Team From Mars, they did have this Blackfeather and this sword that were that much more effective. And now that they're on the B side, they might want to try and ban out one of these 2 heroes and maybe pick one for themselves with that Blackfeather on the first pick if they do ban Saw. So going to be quite important to see what Ludicity wants to go and do with this job, because if they do let quite powerful heroes of this meta go past them, it's going to be a punishment.
Yeah, Ludicity already starting to count down into some of their bonus time. Hopefully they have realized that the draft has already begun. If not, they're definitely having some internal debate as to what should be the proper response. It is going to be that Koshka first ban. From Mars instantly banning out the Cruel, not hesitating at all whatsoever. From Mars definitely feeling confident at this point in time. I don't think there's any true rhyme or reason as to why From Mars felt like they should ban out the Cruel. Maybe it's a comfort pick for Ludicity, and they're well from that. But that is exactly what I like to see. Ludicity giving From Mars a taste of their own medicine and first picking the Lance.
Yeah, they do not want to let 2Gs get that Lance and be the CC god he has been until now. So that's going to be the hero off the charts. I'm going to be picking in that Blackfeather. So Daniel, once again, going to have that Blackfeather, that power hero into his hands once again. Going banning out the sky then onto that second ban for Team from Mars. So now Blackfeather going to have to see what they want to match it up against for Ludicity. So complicated situation.
Definitely, Daniel, feeling comfortable and confident on that Blackfeather pick. The Skyban, a little bit interesting to me. I would not be surprised if From Mars went ahead and second picked that Rona. Maybe at this point in time, they realize that 2Gs is very comfortable and confident. Equally on the remaining captain heroes, obviously Lance being his #1 choice. He might not have a preference for his final captain hero, whether it's an Arden, a Churnwalker. I've even seen a little bit of Flicker making a comeback in update 2.12 with the True Vision coming out of his heroic perk. But Ludicity going to be banning up the Arden right here.
Yeah, Arden combined with Blackfeather, just able to get the extra move speed, slow down the enemy heroes that are around the Vanguard, and also keep them in area of effect where they're able to dash out even more damage, just stopping squishy heroes to escape from the team fights. So I would say it's a nice ban overall, and now we're going to see what they want to pair up this Blackfeather with. I think Grace would be a nice pickup because just a very upfront hero that is Blackfeather with a double Divine Intervention late game with an Echo would be very smart.
I definitely agree. That being said, they don't necessarily have to opt for the Grace right now because there are several options for captain remaining. Like I said, if they go for the Rona pick, they definitely secure a dominating advantage up in the lane. They can flex the Blackfeather into the jungle. Crystal Power. That being said, if they do take the captain pick, they do reserve their final counter pick because Blackfeather is such a good flex pick. Yeah, it is going to be the Flicker coming out from the side of From Mars.
Yeah, you're just talking about comeback of Flicker with his true sight now on his ultimate. And it's going to be interesting how they're going to be playing that all throughout this game because Flicker is one of those heroes who was ignored in 3v3. Is an absolute god hero in 5v5, but 3v3, I haven't had the occasion to see. So going to be, I'm quite interested into this matchup where it's going to be coming up any moment now with this second pickup on the side of Team Ludicity.
Flicker, definitely a hit or miss hero. If you're able to make a few cheeky plays, steal away a few jungle camps in the early game, that's exactly what Flicker is going to look for. The slow on the fairy dust is absolutely overwhelming in the early game, so that's definitely a room for opportunity for a lot of early game aggression coming out of the side of From Mars. I definitely expect to see 2Gs play with that Dragon Blood contract, but you can't forget about the CP Vox that Ludicity played in game 1. It was definitely a pick that they were comfortable with. They weren't able to find success, but it's something that they're definitely looking for game 3. But we also might see the side of From Mars answer with the Saw as a last pick because that was definitely something they were comfortable running into Vox during game number 1.
Yeah, CP Blackfeather, the poke god, and also with a Saw if they want to try and push those turrets effectively. That would be very interesting on their side. But they do have then 2 me heroes. It's going to be then Blackfeather and Flicker. So going on the CP Vox wouldn't be a bad decision. But talking about that, it should be a weapon box because they just lock up with the Rain on the side of Team Ludicity.
This is great drafting by Ludicity right now. I really like that Rhyme locked in as their jungle pick. It's very tanky. It's going to make things very difficult for the side of From Mars to capitalize on that early game aggression coming out of Flicker. Now the question is, do they lane the weapon power Blackfeather and CP jungle Kestrel, or do they lane the weapon power Kestrel and jungle the CP Blackfeather? I hope it's the CP power Blackfeather with the weapon power Kestrel up in the lane. You create a little bit more separation. Then it's 2 heroes playing at range. You're able to position better around the CP Vox if they do end up going for double crystal power. If they do go for a weapon power Vox, that leaves a lot of room for Blackfeather and Flicker to just go in for a dive, try and ignore the Rhyme, find the kill and the damage onto Vox in the backline. But I'll be really interested to see what Slim is able to do on this Captain Lance and if he's able to provide the same amount of peel the 2Gs was on the other side.
Yeah, that last is going to be absolutely crucial because in the late game phase, you're going to be having Flicker with his ultimate just able to keep his team just able to dive in And if he's able then to peel, as you just said there, with his Jishin Wall and his Impale effectively, he's going to be able to save his teammates from a huge ultimate from Flicker. So the peel from the last is going to be absolutely crucial, because if a Vox get caught out, when you got the burst potential of a Black Feather and a Kestrel, unfortunately, you don't have a lot of escape plans. You're just going to get destroyed and then turn it out into a 2v3. You do have a Rain able to sustain a little bit more, but a 2v3 was a Rain against Black Feather and a Kestrel is not going to make it.
No, it's going to be very tough for them to figure it out. It looks like From Mars taking a couple minutes here, make sure they have their heads on straight. They know what their mindset is, trying to figure out what their strategy is going to be. And if they do have a very clear win condition and they've identified that amongst themselves, that's going to set them up for success. They need to find these kills early. They need to be able to punish Ludicity early, because Flicker's biggest weakness has always been how hard he has fallen off in this late game. But that True Vision perk is so strong in 3 versus 3 because Flicker doesn't have to lose his stealth in order to get rid of the scout traps. Whereas in 5 versus 5, with the scout cams that require basic attacking in order to get rid of, it's very hard and very difficult for Flicker to try and clear away those for himself. But it looks like we're getting back on to the Halcyon Fold for game number 3 of this best of 5 series.
Yes, game very important for Team Ludicity, because if they lose this match, it will be game over, and Team From Mars will be going home with a 3-0 situation, and they do not want that to happen. And as you said, very smart draft in there with the Rain up front against a Flicker and a Black Feather. So right now we're going to have to see what's going to happen, but into this game, Flash, who do you expect to come out victorious?
I actually prefer the draft coming out of the side of Ludicity, but with the momentum and the confidence that the side of From Mars has, as long as they're not getting overly confident, I think that's going to allow them to find success here in game number 3. But like I said, I really like the fact that Black Feather has gone Crystal Power and Kestrel has gone Weapon Power. We don't really know what box is going to go yet, whether they're going to stack the Crystal Power, but Bars going to find the advantage, be able to secure the Elder Treant from the shop after this first rotation.
Yeah, and as you just said there, with the Weapon Kestrel and the CP Vox, they're going to be poking absolutely every time. The Glimmer shots are going to be raining down, mostly onto 2 Sweaty. There's going to be late on the front lane, and looks like 2G's just going to try and get a little bit of poke with his abilities onto Blue Stacks. Just trying to shut him down and trying to keep him away from his own farm. But like, 2 Sweat is going to be having to build up tanky items super fast, because unfortunately will be going down because the burst potential of Nas into the late game with Kestrel in general is just going to be humongous.
So one thing that's really important to note this game is we have a little bit of a lane swap. We have Daniel playing in the jungle now on this Crystal Power Black Feather, and it's Nas 9000 up in the lane now. So whether or not that's going to be a recipe for success for the side of From Mars, if they're going to be able to continue the dominance, will be hard to say. But we're getting into one of the first engagements here in this game number 3.
Yeah, Daniel just trying to stay a little bit more. Blue Stacks rotating down, not full HP, and unfortunately he's less slim. He's using his own healing flask, trying to sustain a little bit of the damage of Daniel, but Daniel coming back in with the on point, trying to tank it out, but will be given, once again, like last game, the first blood over to Team Ludicity, and followed up with 2 kills. Going to be picked up there by Slim, and trying to rotate and turn that into an Elder Treant, but oh no, Nas is not calling it a day. Will be able to pick up with the Glimmer shots. A kill onto 2 Sweaty, a little bit, still a little bit too much onto the front lane. No, he's not calling it a day again. Healing cross, then he popped out, getting 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills. Triple kill for Nas 9000.
Nas 9000, you monster. The huge outplay onto the side of Ludicity. He's able to secure that Elder Shop Treant, be able to steal away some of the enemy team's jungle. He's already starting to accumulate this CS lead in game number 3, which is something that really hurt Blue Stacks in game number 2. In game number 2, Blue Stacks got so far behind Daniel that it was just really hard for him to try and work his way back into the game. We're seeing a little bit of that fly over into game number 3 as well.
Yeah, Nas is the new Daniel, just able to out CS completely blue stacks and outburst them completely. And that's just in the early game phase. You know how Nas, when he's going to be able to build up those crit damage, he's going to be an absolute monster. And you have to respect his damage output, because you have the front lane heroes with this Rayman Lance. They're just going to get destroyed. And right now, it looks like just trying to poke down a little bit now, just trying to keep him at bay. Impel going to be connecting there onto 2Gs. Going to be taking a lot of damage, will be going down, unfortunately, to the burn damage of 2 Sweaty Wiz's passive.
Yeah, great pressure here by Ludicity. They understand that Nas just had a huge triple kill onto them, but they're not shaken. They're still confident in applying a lot of this early game pressure. They're going to start sieging this turret, but they need to be careful. If they aren't able to secure this turret, if Nas and 2G is able to stop this push, regardless, Daniel's going to be stealing away a lot of their jungle farm, but they are going to be able to secure that first turret.
Yeah, Daniel just done a very smart move, going to take the enemy's farm. And one time they were still able to pick up a 2v3 up there. They're put in a very bad situation. 2 Sweaty and Slim are on the blizzard of HP left. But I'm going to be coming back in. Nice shit, and we're able to keep in that bay. Impel connecting onto 2Gs. The worst time, Daniel coming back as a hero. Able to pick up a kill there. Careful, Nas again. Very low. You don't want to get too close there from blue stacks. And it looks like they might even try to go for a turret, because they have that huge wave coming up. And first turret should be secured there on the side of Team Ludicity. Secured by From Mars with the Glimmer Shots. The siege potential is huge.
Yeah, great siege potential out of the side of From Mars. Being able to find that counter turret. Again, a 2K gold lead. In all 3 of these games, they have found these gold leads very often, and they're able to just capitalize off that and snowball that. That is the binding light, finding a route onto Ludicity here in this tri-brush. Daniel's starting to go very low, though. He needs to be careful.
Oh, be careful. Going to be using his V. They're able to slow down 2 Sweaty, coming back in with the Feint of Heart very early. Also using his own healing flask. Able to sustain a bit, but repositioning the other side of the wall with the Rose offensive. Daniel just trying to not go down. Crystal Sentry there. Applying 1 auto attack. Not going to be enough to take him down. And now Ludicity just trying to take a little bit of that CS. Unfortunately, just the first few camps. Daniel staying a little bit too long. And the Winter Spire will have the last word. Able to pick up 1 little kill there onto Daniel.
Yeah, great pickup by 2 Sweaty. That being said, though, normally Rhyme is known for how effective his early game jungle clears are. Just as Rhyme is a hero, he can clear very, very quickly. And 9 times out of 10, you see Rhyme with that early game CS advantage. However, Daniel, with these early game rotations, not only is he a full level ahead of 2 Sweaty, but he has almost double his CS, and that is not what you want if you're Rhyme in the early stages of this game.
Yeah, as you said, Rhyme is really good for clearing camps, but already he must have those camps up, because Daniel's just been stealing so many of them. He's just going down in CS lead, and like right now, sitting on a very nice 54 CS, and Brusack's down of 14 compared to Nas. They're going to have to try and catch up that CS lead, and looks like, going to be using a 1-shot 1-kill, going to be a little bit weird, but well.
Probably just trying to snipe out that tri-brush. They didn't have any vision on anyone from the side of Ludicity, so thinking that they may have been in the tri-brush looking for an engagement, just trying to scout that out a little bit. But they're going for gold miner. Daniel's already half health. This fight hasn't even started yet. Mars trying to kite away and secure the gold miner at the same time, but they need to make sure that they're very decisive on their decision making here.
Yeah, and we dropped on the infusion onto Nas, just able to dash out that more damage. Gonna use a nice Valkyrie, able to return up, missed that. Oh my god, be careful there. You don't want to get caught out again now, so that will be the end for you. The Glimmer Shots able to do a lot of work there. Unfortunately, Daniel gonna be following up with a death. Now gonna be able to stun him down with the active camo coming back just on time. Able to stun him out, able to stun out blue stacks, but unfortunately, that will not be enough, and there will be 2 kills over to Team Ludicity. I'm going to be trying to get a little bit of that CS coming back up.
Yeah, great pressure from them, even though From Mars was able to find that gold mine payout. Ludicity able to find the return kills. That's got to be good for their confidence at this point in time. They know that everything is on the line. It's do or die right here. They're starting to scale up a little bit, and the longer this game goes on and the more even they are able to keep it, the worse it is going to become for the side of From Mars, because Flicker is one captain that does not scale very well, especially not on this Halcyon Fold 3 versus 3 map. And that's something that From Mars needs to be wary of and making sure that their execution is on point in order to build this early game advantage.
Yeah, Flicker, unfortunately, late game does fall off a bit, but division management on the side of Team Ludicity isn't that effective. He's got one mine onto that C-Cam on that Elder Treant, and that's really it. That means they do not have any information except with the flares. One shot, one kill, going to be going wild. And BlueStack will be taking a little bit of HP, already mid HP there. Feint of Heart coming back in on point two, almost taking down BlueStack. And he's, going back in, and the on point will have the last word on that one. He does have the level 5 on point available. Too Sweaty going a little bit too much onto that front lane. Valkyrie going well, not going to be connecting onto Daniel. And still Rain, the burn damage onto his passive, just able to do the work. 2G's going to be shut down. Daniel, don't stay off the rage of those Winter Spires. You will get bursted down. I'm just going to take a little bit more of those gold camps. And Too Sweaty just going down anyway. But Daniel just a little bit too up front. Will be going down, unfortunately, to the Rain. Burn damage once again, just able to pick up 2 kills. Nas going to be using the own healing flask, going to be slowed down by the Crystal Sentry, and there will not be an ace, unfortunately, because 2G's just spawned back.
Nas stuck between a rock and the hard place, trying to outmaneuver Vox, and at the same time getting away from the Crystal Sentry was a little bit too impossible. Unfortunately, what happened during that last team fight, 2G's getting a little bit too aggressive, eating too many turret shots, and he waited just too long to try and fountain in order to heal up enough to tank up that last turret shot. That's okay, though. From Mars still sitting on a very good 2K gold lead. That's definitely a difference that Ludicity can come back from, especially the later this game goes, as Rhyme picks up a lot of his items. 2G's needs to be careful right here. He's caught out very far, but Ludicity not able to break the stealth.
Yeah, that was very close for 2G's. Unfortunately, Ludicity were not able to catch him out. And they're going to be trying to get this gold miner, but Daniel and the side of Team From Mars do have the info on that gold miner, might try and secure it. But Ludicity, be careful, the on point of the CP Black Feather might do the trick. Come back in with the CC. Daniel just getting deleted, unfortunately. And they're going to be securing that gold miner. And one at a time. Sneaky Nas trying to get access to that choke point turret. And the siege potential of that hero is absolutely huge. With the double turret monocle, going to be taking chunks of damage. And now they will have access to the enemy choke point.
Yeah, even though they lost out on that gold mine, Nas able to pressure up through the lane and secure that choke point turret is going to be huge for the side of From Mars. Unfortunately, 2G's getting caught out a little bit too far. He's going to go down as well, but despite the fact that they gave up a gold miner, From Mars still has that 2K gold lead. Daniel, though, he's the last man standing. He needs to make sure that he doesn't get caught out too far. It gives his team some time to get back into position, find a little bit of a reset. He's continuing to kind of harass the side of Ludicity and kite out as best as he can.
Unfortunately there, Daniel, he just got caught out again. He's the first man going down. You do not want to give that Wizard Black for that. Unfortunately, Valkyrie going to be going wild, not going to be connecting. 1-1 kill going wild. Also, Too Sweaty going to be tanking up that little extra damage. Just get now that Eve of Harvest. That's maybe the extra sustain that was missing for Too Sweaty. That's now going to be available in those fights. Unfortunately, like Daniel just going down way too often in the early phases. Now they're in a 2v3.
The contraption out of Slim has proved to be super effective here in this game. 2G's not able to capitalize on a good Moon Cloak that would enable Mars to find a very strong gank, but absolutely melted Too Sweaty by 2 Glimmer shots.
Oh, that's the problem with the Glimmer shots, with the double turret monocle, but BlueStack's there. Finishes his own healing fast while Slim just gets deleted. 1-1 kill, a little bit off the mark there. Able to reposition BlueStack's there, 14 stacks, 15 stacks on his breaking point, but unfortunately going to be able to pick up the kill onto Nas. But Nas, with those Glimmer shots, you have to respect the damage of a double turret monocle, and he might even go for a third one.
Yeah, that's definitely an option. He does pick up that third Tyrant's monocle, so these Glimmer shots, whoever steps in front of them on the side of Ludicity, they can expect to receive a ton of damage. Lance really needs to pick up his metal jacket. Vox, fortunately, does have his metal jacket, but Vox completing that metal jacket so early, that's definitely going to take away from his damage output. He really has no true damage items. It's only the Poison Shiv and the Breaking Point. I don't know if From Mars knows that Ludicity was there. Slim not going to do anything crazy. Doesn't go in for the steal. Nas able to secure the gold mine payout with that one-shot, one-kill.
Yeah, 4,000 gold advantage for Team From Mars. Not that huge compared to the other games. Going to be airflying a little bit of a slow there. At last, not connecting onto boost stacks. And now we have the rain of the glimmer shots that just started. Nas just starting to scale up slowly inside that fight. Going to get his arrows back in shape. And look at that. He's got a nice position there. Going to be onto the escape route of Team Ludicity. Unfortunately, not going to be connecting those glimmer shots. And just to give an extra insight onto the builds, Rain just started building extra defense, so now the glimmer shot's not going to be that much more effective because until now he had no defense against Nas.
Yeah, he needed that armor. That really is going to be an important part of his build path. The Coda plates is going to help, but it's really not enough. Having 3 Tyrants Monocle with the Pierce coming in through the glimmer shots, he's still going to be melted regardless of who gets in the front line. If he can find a bunch of fortified health and find the health regen from his Eve of Harvest, that is really what they're going to be looking for.
Oh, and well time this Nas just get a little bit caught out, and so does 2Gs, just taking a bunch of damage. Wait, we're going to be going wild, connecting onto Nas and 2Gs. So just going to try and keep that choke point. He does have the active camo there on the floor if they do want to engage. And now it's the counter engage. Valkyrie going to be missing and completely off the mark onto Team From Mars. Impel going to be missing out too. He's going to be rooted on the ground by missing that ability. And too sweaty onto the front lane. Just taking so much damage. You have to respect it. The damage of Nas now doing a little bit of a 1v2. Going to use a reflex block. Daniel going to a little bit of AFK using the healing blast. Oh, almost 20 stacks onto that breaking point. Got the information. Glimmer shots raining down. Slowed down by the Crystal Sentry. He's back to the wall, and this will be surely an ace secured for the Team From Mars, and it will be given over.
Yeah, great team fighting from the side of From Mars. Nas getting lucky. He got caught out of position at the start of that team fight. Fortunately, 2G's able to bail him out just a little bit, but the patience coming in from Daniel and Nas later on in that team fight to just sit back, poke away, don't overcommit was absolutely beautiful. They're going to secure the ace. They get Kraken off the back of the ace as well. They have 3 infusions on the side of From Mars. 2 Sweaty's going to be expiring here pretty soon, but he does have enough gold in order to go in and reinfuse.
Yeah, and while that time we do have the Kraken starting to push, starting to advance onto this lane, and this might be the last push of the game as you get an extra Crystal Sentry life down. And now just looking for the next in game, and while the ultimate does go wild for this Flicker, just trying to get the extra push advantage onto Team Ludicity. The awesome repositioning of the Black for the Jet, just a little bit out of position. Impel going to be not connecting, unfortunately, going to be stunned out by the active camo. They come to the front lane. Fountain going to be popped out on the side of From Mars, able to keep healthy his allies. And there be careful, overstaying a little bit too much. Flicker will be taken down. Binding Light able to get the CC onto blue stacks. Black Feather just then on the other side of the wall, just maybe looking for the next opportunity to take down those Vayne turrets. And we do have the Kraken still mid HP and still going to be trying to chunk down this last standing Vayne turret.
Yeah, Nas, if he finds an opportunity to go in and glimmer shot those turrets, they're going to absolutely melt. They're going to slow push this, allow Daniel to continue poking from the back line. That last turret, oh, so close to Kraken landing that killing blow. Daniel needs to be careful, though. He's pushed up a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's the definition of overstaying and overstepping. Unfortunately, Daniel will be going down there. But it's not really that important because they did get 1 Vayne turret off there. The last Vayne turret is so low they could try and backdoor if they really felt like it. But I'm going to have a little bit of an engagement in a 1v1 situation there. Nice block out of Nas, able to survive a little bit longer. Glimmer shots raining, stopping the engagement route for blue stacks. Going to be able to avoid them for quite a long time. Licker coming out, nice Crucible, able to give the extra survive. Just Nas is able to survive for so long. And he's going to be doing a counter engage there. Kept the Winter Spire popping out. And it will be the end of Too Sweaty. Unfortunately, like, Too Sweaty was doing a nice move up. And 2G's just able to keep nice and healthy Nas. Just coming back with a killing blow.
Huge outplay by Nas at the beginning of that to give enough time for 2Gs to get back from his base and provide the support that he really needed. This 5K gold lead that From Mars has exactly what they want at this stage in the game. They still need to be careful. Ludicity definitely still poses a very strong threat, especially once the third tier 3 item or third tier 3 offensive item from Vox comes online. Is something they're going to need to watch out for. He's got the heavy steel in his bag now, so the upfront damage is going to help. But Daniel's going in for an engagement.
Yeah, just trying to get and apply those earth rope stacks. And now the stealth available for 2G's, just trying to get his binding light to get the vision there. Crystal Sentry trying to secure it. Blackfeather can try and do it. He is a CPU Blackfeather, can get a poke from a distance. And he's just going to keep avoid Slim from backing out there. And it's too sweaty, still hasn't finished a tier 3 defense against Nas. So Nas just able to do wild damage with those glimmer shots.
Yeah, Nas is going to be raining massive damage. He has those Halcyon chargers for the long speed boost duration for whenever he needs it. He realized Kraken has spawned, and that is Kestrel for you, ladies and gentlemen. Just absolutely shredding through Kraken. He doesn't have help from any of his teammates, but Ludicity looking for an engagement right here.
Yeah, look at Daniel too, just going to try and go for the backdoor. They're in a sticky situation there. Ludicity, do we back or do we do the Kraken? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Daniel going to be there, just does have the Rose offensive if ever he wants to get out there. And now the Kraken will be forced. 14 from Mars. Things are happening absolutely everywhere. Daniel doing a little bit of a 1v2 Egyptian wall there. Going to be connecting Daniel shut. Rose offensive. Will the invisibility, unfortunately, will be going down. And the Kraken going to be secured because this rating too sweaty was shut down. Kraken secured and going wild. 14 from Mars. This should be maybe the last push of this BO5. Let's go.
Yeah, I definitely think Daniel could have gotten out and reset right there, gotten back with his team if he just would have used his Rose offensive chargers to disengage. Fortunately, From Mars able to find that counter kill on the Too Sweaty, and they're definitely looking to threaten the base of Ludicity and take the win in this best of 5 series.
Yeah, and well done. 2G's taking a little bit too much of upfront damage. Trying to reposition there. Taking a lot of damage from those glimmer shots, but does have a lot of armor there with his metal jacket, so not that much of a problem right now. They're going to try and take down this Kraken, but the last standing Vainsocial will be going down to this Kraken. Nice. Oh no! The Impale was stopped. The animation was stopped there by the active camo stun. Now just trying to stay in range, just trying to be a nuisance at this point. And the Kraken still very, very healthy. And this should be game number 3 over to Team From Mars. Slim has understood that. Blue Stack still trying to save the game. But it's going to be the end. 2 more hits, and this will be game for Team From Mars. 1 more, and From Mars take the win. 3-0 against Team Ludicity.
Great execution out of From Mars. Clean all the way through. Just kidding. Getting caught out just time. Very seldomly, their execution was on point overall. And despite the fact that Ludicity actually had the kill advantage here in this game number 3, the gold advantage, and obviously the win going over to the side of From Mars.
Yeah, and something I'd like to point out this game is Daniel. Almost every time into these 3 games, he would go defenseless. No defense items. He will never get them and just going for pure raw damage. It can be effective in the early phases, but you have to respect the itemization on the side of Team Ludicity. When they were able to hit those huge item spikes, Daniel would most of the time just get caught out because he'd always have the same attitude of going very upfront, doing maybe 1v2 or sometimes even 1v3. So Daniel, you can do builds like that, but you have to stick with your team if you decide to go on that itemization route.
I agree with you 100%. Again, I was really impressed by the adaptations Ludicity made during the drafting phase, really in games 2 and game 3. Unfortunately, just not enough here today, but I think we can definitely expect to see them some more in the future.
Yeah, so this will be the end of this stream. Thank you guys for joining it. This was Team Ludicity against From Mars. From Mars taking the win in an absolute blast, 3-0, just absolutely flawless all around. And yeah, so my name was Max130, coming to you guys with Flash X as a color caster. It was absolutely awesome to have you guys on the stream, and see you guys next time on The Fold.